Welcome to Syncreate, a show where we explore the intersections between creativity, psychology, and spirituality. We believe everyone has the capacity to create. Our goal is to demystify the process and expand the boundaries of what it means to be creative. We talk with visionaries and change makers and everyday creatives working in a wide range of fields and mediums, from the arts to science, technology, and business. We aim to illuminate the creative process from imagination to innovation and everything in between. I'm Melinda Rothaus, and I help individuals and organizations bring their dreams and visions to life.
And I'm Charlotte Gullick. I am a writer, educator, and writing coach. We are the co-authors of a book on the creative process, also called Syncreate. At Syncreate, we're here to support your creative endeavors. If you have an idea for a project or a new venture and you're not sure how to get it off the ground, find us at syncreate.org. Our book, also called Syncreate, walks you through the stages of the creative process so you can take action on your creative goals. We offer resources, creative process tools, and coaching to help bring your work to the world. We're offering a monthly coaching group starting in January 2025, and we'd be delighted for you to join us. We'd also love to hear your feedback on the show. Please drop us a line at info@syncreate.org. We're looking for feedback on how we can improve the show, what's resonating for you, and future topics you'd like us to cover. Welcome back to the Syncreate podcast. We're so happy that you're here. Melinda and I are working on some podcast quickies or some creative sparks, and we understand that people are enjoying these, and so we want to do some more. Right now, we're talking about the importance of community, which we have talked about before, but we're thinking about it through a different lens. And, we don't know what changes are coming in our country coming soon. And some people may be feeling a little bit bereft of certainty about what things can look like. And we really wanted to talk about the importance of community as a structure that sustains and takes care of the most vulnerable. And in addition to being where we can be really fed in our collaborative and creative sense of ourselves, is that community is extremely important. Many of us already know that. And we're thinking a little bit about how it might become more important. And this might be hard to think about. How do I stretch myself so that I feel empowered no matter what the changes are coming? And so we wanted to spend a little time with that. Melinda, how does community show up in your creative life in kind of a civil sense in addition to a creative sense?
Yeah, so one of the things that we were kind of talking about when we were brainstorming for this episode is, just after the election, I heard a clip with Rachel Maddow, and she was talking about, the basis of a civil society is not necessarily government. It's people gathering together in community, whatever that looks like. It could look many, many different ways. It could be an organization that you volunteer with, or, a spiritual community, or a book club. Or for me, this really shows up in my music. So as I've talked about previously, I have a group of musicians that I play with here in Austin. And, we kind of started out as like we were all sort of desperately doing our own thing. Three of us are singer-songwriters, and I first started playing with my friend George, and then started playing with my friend Randy, and then we came together. There are five of us that have been playing together for a while now, and started to kind of blend our music together and harmonize and sing on each other's songs and perform together. And it's really taken on this very like intimate, familial feeling, and almost this it's got a spiritual element to it. And our weekly rehearsals, sometimes they end up being group therapy sessions or celebrations, or depending on the mood and what's going on, but it's like a time that all of us like really, really cherish and really value in our coming together. So that's been such a blessing for me over this last year or so.
And it's making me think a couple of things. One is, that for those of us who haven't formed a creative community, that this might actually, the two might merge together. Is that your civil and your engagement and your creativity may find an outlet together.
Yes.
Um, and I'm also thinking about like because I talk a lot about writers and um, community is so important, but we don't talk about it enough as writers because so much is done by ourselves. And I saw a thing on Submittable, which is a platform that has lots of artists and writing opportunities. And I saw a writer's workshop and I applied to it one night very quickly, something I'd written before. So I had something polished. So it was easy. And I was accepted. And then I was like, I don't know if I want to go. It's going to be right after the election. And I've done 2 writing programs. And what do those people have to offer me? Which was really full of myself. Like, but then there was also an honest thing of like, am I going to be challenged enough so that I grow? And I wrote the woman who was organizing it. I was accepted. And then I said, I've done 2 writing programs and I do want to be connected and challenged. And she's like, I think this will be a good group for you. And I was a little bit skeptical and I went and it was awesome.
Aw.
I didn't know a person there. And everyone, held each other with such compassionate support and knowing it was a rough, vulnerable time. And some people in particular really worried about the future for family members that are particularly vulnerable. And I'm so glad I went. Like it, feels like I don't know if sometimes as a writer, I think I have to move between audacity and humility.
Mhm.
And I think I was operating from the audacious place, like, do I need this? And then from the humble place, it was so restorative and so connective. And now I have a whole new group of friends. I'm relatively new to the Hudson Valley. So I got to meet other writers in the area, even though some had traveled from so far to come. And I felt like I loved the timing that I
Yeah.
decided to go. And that was right after the election. It was
That's
really,
great.
really sustaining.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. Yeah.
So, our pro tip when you're thinking about this is we encourage you, as we often do, to find a creative circle to become a part of. So, this could mean that you have an existing group and you haven't been with them in a while, and you reach back and you try to bring people together again. We're also thinking of maybe you go to an open mic in your community, see how people are putting themselves out there. That could be really inspiring. Go to a meetup. It doesn't necessarily have to be one that is creative focused, but what we're really encourage you is to connect to community. Is very important now, and our suspicion is that it will continue to be very important. Or if you're in an area where you don't know or you don't like what's there, maybe you host your own and maybe you start out casual as a virtual and then you go to in person.
Yes.
But we're really encouraging you to put some creative energy into finding a way to connect with community.
Yeah, and I think just someone from a previous episode who spoke to this really beautifully is Amanda Johnston, the poet laureate of Texas that we had on the show. And, her pro tip was very similar. She was like, if you want to write and you haven't even started yet, like go to a reading and find your people, so, so important. And I think a really great antidote to fear and uncertainty and isolation. Just like go connect.
Find us and connect with us on YouTube and social media under Syncreate. And we're on Patreon as well. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe and leave us a review.
We're recording today at Record ATX Studios in Austin, with Charlotte joining us from the Hudson Valley. The podcast is produced in collaboration with Mike Osborne at 14th Street Studios. Thanks so much for being with us, and see you next time.